Part 1. The Eighth Wonder. You can actually use Einstein once said compounding is the eighth wonder of the world. But let's be honest, most people treat it like trivia, not truth. It's something they heard once in a podcast, nodded at, then went back to scrolling. Yet compounding isn't just math. It's the quiet superpower that separates those who get rich slowly from those who stay broke forever. It's not glamorous, it's not quick, but it's relentless. Imagine two people. One saves early and lets time do the heavy lifting. The other waits, promising they'll start when things settle down. The first lets the universe of math fight for them. The second keeps fighting the universe. That's what this story is about. How time quietly turns tiny numbers into empires, and how ignoring that truth costs you more than you can ever earn back. The $24 lesson from 1626. In the 1600s, a Dutch trader supposedly bought Manhattan from the local tribe for history classes often say, what a ripoff. The natives got cheated, but that's only true if you ignore compounding, because if those same $24 were invested at just 7% per year, not a lottery win, just an index fund level return, they'd be worth around $12 trillion today. That's not a typo. That's 12 followed by 12 zeros. It's a ridiculous number, but it's also real math. Time multiplied by steady growth doesn't whisper. It roars. Every decade, that money doubles. Do that 10 times and you're at a 1,000-fold increase. Do it for 4 centuries and you've rewritten history. The tribe didn't lose Manhattan. They lost the right to let time do the work for them. Now ask yourself, how many times have you done the same? Sold your future gains for a tiny present comfort? That's what skipping your investments is. A slow, quiet trade with future you. The 2 levers of wealth. Every compounding story has 2 variables, time and rate. The rate is how fast your money grows. Time is how long you let it. But here's the trick. People obsess over the rate and ignore the time. They chase higher returns, jump in and out of markets, and forget that an average return held for decades beats a genius return held for a year. If you could invest at 7% for 50 years, you'd turn small savings into something life-changing. You wouldn't need insider info or startup equity. You just need patience, consistency, and trust in the math. Warren Buffett didn't become rich because he found secret stocks. He became rich because he started early and refused to stop. When asked for his secret wish, he didn't say more money. He said, I just want to live longer so I can keep compounding. It's morbidly funny and perfectly logical. The librarian who quietly won. There was a man, a librarian, soft-spoken, lived a quiet life. He never drove a fancy car or owned a big house. When he passed away, people were shocked to learn he had left $4 million to his local college. No lottery ticket, no startup exit, just 50 years of saving and letting the math handle the rest. People called it luck. It wasn't luck. It was compounding doing its slow dance behind the curtain. What the minimum wage worker could do, let's make this real. Say you're 18, earning minimum wage, maybe $15,000 a year. You live at home, save 10%, $1,500, and invest it each year into a retirement account. That's not much. It's the price of a new phone. But if that money compounds at 7% for 50 years, the first $1,500 alone becomes about $48,000. Do it every year, and by retirement, you're sitting near $1 million. That's from minimum wage. No side hustles, no risky bets, no startup miracle. Now imagine if your income doubled over time, and you stayed consistent, you'd quietly walk into millionaire status without ever feeling rich along the way. That's the secret. Wealth sneaks up on those who are too patient to notice. The real cost of waiting, but delay the start by 10 years, and you destroy decades of progress. 10 lost years can cut your future wealth in half. Because compounding punishes hesitation the same way it rewards consistency. It's not just about saving early, it's about letting time stack layers of growth you can't see yet. Every year you wait is one less double your money gets to experience. You can't make that time back. There's no late-game catch-up move for patience. A father, a daughter, and $5,000. One investor told a story about his daughter. She earned $5,000 from a summer internship. He helped her open an investment account at 18. No expenses, no rush, just $5,000 quietly working. Then he asked her to imagine that money doubling every 5 years. Not because of luck, but because of time and math. By her late 60s, that single summer's paycheck could grow to $5 million. She didn't believe it at first. Few people do. We're not wired to think exponentially. Our brains expect linear progress, not wealth that sneaks up and explodes after decades of silence. That's the paradox of compounding. Nothing happens, and then everything happens. The Buffett blueprint, Buffett understood this when he was 10. He made his first investment before most kids learned multiplication. He's been compounding ever since. When asked why he's rich, he says, "I've lived in America, I've had good genes, and I've been compounding since I was 11. He didn't mention IQ, timing, or luck. He mentioned time. Buffett's wish isn't for higher returns, it's for longer runway. He knows that time, not brilliance, creates the fortune. Every year he stays alive, his net worth compounds more than most people will earn in a lifetime. It's not fair. It's math. And the math doesn't care who uses it. The silent killer of wealth, the opposite of compounding isn't loss. It's interruption. Every time you cash out, panic sell, or pull from your retirement fund to buy something shiny, you reset the clock. The miracle doesn't stop because markets fell. It stops because you did. The time value you destroy when you withdraw early isn't visible, but it's massive. You don't just lose dollars, you lose decades. And no bonus, raise, or promotion can buy those back. So yes, the math of compounding is magical, but the mindset behind it, that's where the real power lives. Compounding works best when it feels boring. When your friends are chasing quick wins and you're just sitting there buying the same index fund again and again. It's the kind of boredom that builds empires quietly. The reason most people never see the reward is because they don't survive the boredom. They switch strategies, they withdraw, they get distracted by the next thing that promises faster results. They forget that compounding only looks slow until it doesn't. The early years are deceptive, growth feels invisible, you're saving and investing, but your balance barely moves. That's the stage when most give up. But those who stay, those who keep feeding the machine, reach a tipping point where time starts working harder than they do. At first you earn money, then your money earns money, and finally your money's money earns more money. That's when compounding stops being math and starts being magic. Money is only one side of it. Compounding applies to everything that grows quietly over time. Knowledge compounds. Habits compound, relationships compound, read a page a day and you won't feel smarter tomorrow. But 10 years later, people will wonder how you know so much. Work out for 20 minutes daily and no one notices a thing next week. But in a few years, you look and feel like a different person. Everything good grows this way, slowly, invisibly, then all at once. The biggest mistake is treating compounding like a calculator trick. It's not about memorizing the rule of 72. It's about training yourself to think long-term in a world obsessed with now. When you look at your savings, your health, or your work, you're really looking at a reflection of how well you've treated time. Compounding rewards people who respect time and punishes those who ignore it. That's why time is the most valuable asset you'll ever own. Not because it's scarce, but because it multiplies everything it touches. Think of life as a series of doubles. If your wealth doubles every 10 years, how many doubles do you have left? Start early, you might get 6 or 7. Wait until your 30s or 40s, maybe 3 or 4. Each double you miss isn't just money lost, it's time you'll never regain. Buffett understood that when he was 11. That's why he started then. He wasn't trying to be smart, he was trying to be early. The funny thing is, you don't need a genius strategy. You just need to avoid doing dumb things for long enough. Most fortunes are built not by brilliance, but by consistency. Avoid lifestyle creep, avoid panic, avoid the temptation to sell your future for today's comfort. That's it. Every decision that keeps you invested, learning, and growing becomes a multiplier. Every impulse that interrupts that rhythm kills the effect. Picture a snowball rolling down a hill. It starts as a handful. Each turn adds a layer. The longer the hill, the bigger the snowball. That's compounding. The trick isn't to push harder. It's to find the longest hill and never stop the roll. Your job is not to make the snowball grow faster. It's to make sure it keeps rolling. When people say, "I wish I had started earlier," what they really mean is, "I wish I had trusted time." Because time is the only ally that never asks for talent, credentials, or luck. It just asks for consistency. Even if you're older, the rule doesn't change. The best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago. The second best time is still today. You can't change the number of doubles you missed, but you can protect the ones ahead. Think of compounding like gravity. It works whether you believe in it or not, but you have to decide which side of it you're on. The side that builds or the side that erodes. Debt compounds too. Bad habits compound too. Every decision either builds your future or borrows from it. When you spend recklessly, you're compounding in reverse. When you stay curious, disciplined, and calm, you're compounding forward. Compounding is not a secret. It's a mirror. It doesn't care about who you are. It only reflects what you repeatedly do. You can either be the tribe that sold Manhattan for $24 or the one that kept the 24 and let time do the rest. The math is the same. Only the patience differs. Money is just the training ground. The real goal is to build a compounding mindset, to live in a way where every day adds a tiny layer of growth to your life. Because once you learn how to make patience profitable, you've already won the hardest game there is. So start small, stay steady, keep rolling the snowball, and one day you'll wake up and realize the eighth wonder of the world was working for you all along. Compounding isn't about chasing the next big thing. It's about trusting the quiet math that turns time into wealth. Most people underestimate what patience can build and overestimate what speed can fix. So if this video made you pause for a moment, take that as your sign to start, no matter how small, because small steps taken early grow into something extraordinary. If you learned something today, hit the like button so more people can find this message. Subscribe to The Passive Path for more stories about money, mindset, and the slow art of building freedom. Share this video with someone you care about, someone who might need a reminder that it's never too late to start compounding their future. I wish you good luck on your journey. Keep learning, keep growing, and I'll see you in the next video.